Hello and welcome to another episode of 321 Presents. I am your host today, Nick, and our first order of business is to wish a happy birthday to my co-host, Zach.
Birthday season, baby!
It's birthday season in November. The only notable thing in November is our birthdays.
There's that other thing, but you know.
Nope, I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, yes, that is the first order of business. Zach, how does it feel to be creeping ever closer to the big 3-0?
It's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary, but numbers are only a frame of mind. Or
Sure.
so we're told.
Absolutely. Do you have any last items to cross off your 20s checklist in this next year ahead of you before you, in your last moment to try and yank your hat of youth out from under the closing door, Indiana Jones style?
I don't know if I don't remember when I stopped being young, but I wake up every day at 5 o'clock, if not 5:15.
You've been doing that for a while.
I've been doing that for at least, how long have I been working now? For 8 years. So I've been doing that for at least 7 of them.
Yep.
Because we conveniently moved much further away from my job. Yeah, but I don't know. I've kind of felt like I've been an old man ever since. You can't do very many young things when you have to be in bed by 10 p.m.
Yeah, it's rough out there like that.
Also, why? I want to see my stats. When I get a level up here, where do my stat attributions go?
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to. It feels like we're doing the opposite here. I lose stats somehow.
There is part of the durability and whatnot. Your condition, you just are gradually decreasing in quality, like a video game.
My constitution lowers, but my wisdom increases. I don't know. That doesn't
Theoretically.
that doesn't seem like a fair trade.
If you roll well.
Depends on what my build is.
Yeah. Unfortunately, real life does not let you see your character sheet very easily.
I would like to.
It would be very convenient. But yes, so the second point of business here on the pod today, I do have to call a public press conference. This is a more local announcement to our fellow drivers around the Denver metro area. Turn signals are not optional. I'm not sure when that memo got started circulating around, but I've the frequency now when I am out on the road when there's just no use of the blinky blonkers.
What about if I'm in the only turn lane?
I mean, but did you signal at least to get over into that turn lane?
Yes.
Okay.
But what if I'm in on an off ramp? Do I have to signal that I'm on the off ramp? Do I have to signal then that I'm getting off on the off ramp? Everyone behind me is getting off too. We all know where we're going. Just to play devil's advocate here.
You do have to signal when a lane change is about to occur. Not after, not during, before it happens. Otherwise, it's useless. It's a warning system so other people know what the hell to expect. Insane how much maneuvering and turning and whatnot I see with... It's just right there. Easy click.
That in residential areas, I'll give you a little leeway because if I'm...
How do we know order of operations at a 4-way stop if the turn is coming out of nowhere?
That one is unexcusable.
Yeah, exactly.
That one is unexcusable.
And why do you play like you practice properly every time?
And then I'm the bad guy because I'm the one I'm getting honked at for almost hitting you.
This is my old man rant of the day, I guess. Please use your turn signals.
Old man shakes fist at cloud.
Yep. And now on to regular business, I believe. We can go there. In fact, I would love to start today by picking up from a little bit of a discussion we had last week in music and lyric versus vibe, and a new artist to me that I am, of course, about 6 years late to the party on, Baby No Money.
Which... not how I read it at first.
No, it's if you're not familiar with how to vocalize it, it is a very confusing abbreviation as a nomenclature. BBNO $.
Yeah, baby knows.
But Baby No Money, who has collaborated quite a few times with Young Gravy, who's a little bit more notorious, I suppose is the word, well known, is a little bit more in the common vernacular, I would say.
Yeah.
Is a fellow, let's say, I guess in the Wikipedia article, because I'm the sort of nerd that has to Wikipedia hip hop artists.
I'm also.
But apparently, we have a SoundCloud era of rap now.
Yes, the SoundCloud era is. I think it's kind of gone now, but there was a big era of SoundCloud rappers that come from that. There's some names you'd notice, like if you've ever heard of Russ. Russ is like
again, looking at the Wikipedia list, there were about 4 names I recognized on the.
Russ is usually at the top of that list because he went on a mission and he released an actual song every single day, and he did that for I think 3 or 4 years, just a brand new song every single day.
That's wild.
Which his SoundCloud discography is immense at this point.
Sure, I mean, and it's. I love that as a proponent of independent artistry, as I am. I love seeing people being able to make an entire career on self-released music without having to, sign contracts where they're giving up most of their money.
I agree, but I reach a point, right?
Sure.
And this is another conversation I had or I heard on a podcast that I've been listening to, and it's like a hip hop podcast.
Okay.
Is it better to have singles or is it better to have like a full constructed album? Yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting discussion.
Before why throw us off our
because I think the art of the album is certainly like a dying breed. It's certainly gone fairly wayward.
It's funny you say that now because everyone, at least in the hip hop industry, is so worried about, and thank you to Kendrick Lamar, the J. Cole's, our top 3 out there, Drake kind of included in that. They're so worried about what the whole album is like. The artistry of the whole album means more now than just having your singles, or as the podcast I listen to calls them, your slaps. Where are the slaps?
Sure. And because that's an odd thing that I think tends to be a like false dichotomy, that like an album can't have like great singles off of it or type of thing. Where are you on this argument?
I don't know. I tend to lead a little bit more towards I want a more complete album. The issue that I've had with singles in the past is there's some albums out there that I really like but have singles, but it doesn't feel like the singles are as cohesive to the whole album, and they just kind of feel a little bit out of place. Like those are the ones that you have your BPMs or something like that. Maybe the album's like kind of a real slow, dark, moody vibe. Now we're all upbeat, and I'm like, am I in a Gorillaz album?
That seems like the common thing in an album is like that 80% of it is the theme that the artist wanted, and there's like a 20% of
the slaps.
The radio, like the execs wanted this sound or this type of thing or whatever.
Yeah. On the other hand, though, I understand the point of you need to have singles, because how else am I going to get, like, how often are you going to a new artist and just listening to a full album? You need the singles to kind of get introduced to them, for people to play them on the radio as like an introduction into their music and artistry.
For sure. And I think that is a new growing thing that you can somehow get. K-pop, I think, also has an influence on this, which is very heavy on doing EP releases in between full albums. Full albums are much rarer for a K-pop band.
I know. I feel like
because they do know that they need to pop in every like 6 months or so.
Depending on what group you follow, like the BTS group, it feels like they only put out albums anymore. Like they have to have like
you have to reach a certain level or something.
Yeah, you only like, if you're not going to put out that level of music, it's like don't even.
You need to go and get some weekly show wins under your belt before you can think about doing albums all the time.
My favorite, the Stray Kids, they just put out an album a couple months ago, and I have an EP coming next week. I'm like, this is a lot.
That's wild, because I've seen it where like you'll have the group does one, and then individual members will start putting them in between as well and start bridging.
All full group, and it's like, this is insane. And their wild. EPs are basically almost
full albums anyway.
Anyway, yeah.
I mean, that's a bigger group too. That's a little easier to understand the output.
Yeah, we got 8 members here, my guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, but yes, I think overall I am pro an environment where artists can just kind of sling singles out willy nilly, because part of the philosophy of advocating for people in general to embrace their artistic side and be creative and make things, that not all the things you make are going to be good, and that's just the thing you have to accept in a creative mindset. But it is important to make the bad things, but
Good.
so that you can make good things
It's
later.
Good is, especially
And
in this field,
it's subjective.
it's very subjective. There are some things that are objectively good that everyone knows and hears about. For the most part, we all can. A majority of us can agree that
there are
this was good.
pluralities of accepted greatness.
But even for like what an artist may consider as bad, maybe some of their fans' favorite music. That
I was just
out.
actually having this discussion with one of my coworkers at lunch today about, I forget what the name of it was, but he's like an electronic artist or something who basically has made a career over like several decades, that he's considered this like peak of the format and whatnot. And he says he only releases tracks he doesn't like. And it's like, okay, man, if that's a pretty good flex, just keeping all the good stuff to yourself, huh?
Yeah, no, I mean, so the electronic art is a different just art form in general, right? Because they have this ability to release their remixes and their actual
the ability to output is a lot faster.
But also, I have to take my music and also go put on these shows, and maybe I'm keeping the stuff I like to perform in front of the people.
There's a different requirement of that format, yeah. So wrapping back around to the original topic, though, in this singles album's dichotomy universe of Baby No Money, who did just put out a new album of his own earlier, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago,
which has a fair number of singles on it as well.
It is very that is mostly how I have been hooked, in fact, to Baby No Money. Edamame was the first one that I like stopped and looked at and was like, okay, who is this? Where do I find more of it? And that's an older, I think it's a 2019 track, which is, no, maybe Edamame is 2022. But it's, again, one that I'm several years behind on. But I did also find it very interesting because he is, I would say, very savvy at catering to the online crowd with his marketing and whatnot.
There are a couple people who do that. Him and Young Gravy are a couple of those guys.
Two of the most prominent ones who at least have been in like my same spaces, which is same age range, of course. He's just a nice Canadian boy in the backstory.
Yeah. I'm curious now because like Young Gravy, Baby No Money, have you ever dipped your toe into an artist called Oliver Tree?
I've heard of that name, but no.
He might be up your alley too. He's boy, is it an experience to listen to him, and I actually got to see him in concert. But he's actually, like, from an artistry standpoint, I think he's much more in the vibes category. Yeah. And a lot of his stuff is upbeat. It's very artistic for sure.
Very into that. But yeah, because I think a common generality within these, like, these are artists who generally, like, say 20 years ago would not have been entirely welcome in the hip hop like realm, going through the traditional routes of like record labels and stuff. It was still fairly uncommon to be a white rapper if you weren't Eminem.
The term hip hop is just so loose nowadays, and what the hip hop culture is not what it used to be at all.
For sure.
Because it's, like you said, it's very non-white dominant, mostly black dominant industry, and there was a level of expectation and certain persona that you had to be successful for the most part.
And now these basically suburban white guys get to make a career out of it too.
Yeah, because I can do the beeps and the bops. But
I think the funny thing, like, to me, they are also fairly self-aware of, like, we do not, like, at least for Baby No Money, who I've done a little bit of the research on, he has, like, in it, like, yeah, I've lived a pretty regular, no hassles life, so I can't rap about that. So I will just kind of have fun at how little I do fit into this lifestyle expectation.
Everyone likes themselves unaware. Like there are going to be absolutely no rappers who come to touch the greatness of Eminem, and very few rappers in general. But the ones who are self-aware, not trying to be that. So, of course, the two you've named, Little Dicky, I think, falls in that category. Jack Harlow's another one who just kind of is in his own little fun lane, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Fun that there's that space now to play in as well.
It's a little bit more inviting because how many people are out here living a true what would have been considered a hip hop rap life even back 20 years ago. That's not very. It's what people would have liked to do, and it's a fun story. But now, it feels like people right now are looking for music that they can relate to, and that feels good for them. And what feels better than just a white suburban boy who is not maybe dealt with some of the hardships, and a lot of people can relate to that.
Exactly, and he's just having some fun with our favorite YouTube friends
all the time.
In all the media, because in fact, it was very interesting to find out he actually blew up originally in China first. Baby No Money did, because he got one of his singles got featured by a famous dance crew. They did a routine to one of his tracks, and it blew up in China. So he went and did his first sold out tour there.
As ones do, yeah.
As you do, you go and perform across a different country.
It's interesting to me to think of the artists who are not big here but are just massive outside of U.S. Because for me, when I think of artistry and culture and stuff like that, I'm very uncultured in the way I think I can only think about in the U.S. base because that's what we've known.
It's, our experience.
Yeah, our experience. But thinking about what's huge in China, Japan, out in Europe, it's just so completely different.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the fun things of the internet age is we get to kind of bridge those gaps and see it, get to have all those fun videos of different people from different countries swap snacks and trade TV shows and all that fun stuff where it's like, oh, this is what you guys grew up with. That's wild.
I would love to see a little kid try to explore America by himself.
It's not a thing we could do in most of the U.S. here.
And we have to call SWAT now.
Very good. That is, I think, a good take on our music news. Did you have any music news this week?
The music news that I know is I think the Gorillaz are also coming out with another album next week or a couple weeks here. I think it's next week if I remember correctly.
The full album is scheduled for March.
Really?
My God. They have already released 3 full tracks now, though. They've been doing it about once every 3 weeks or so.
I just thought it was next week.
No, the full album, The Mountain, is not due out until March of 2026. But we're getting most of it on it's I guess the last track will release in March.
Yeah, we're going to get it all week by week.
I guess.
Thanks, Gorillaz.
They have been pretty sweet so far.
Yeah, I'd like to me some Gorillaz. I do like it's fun to see the story that they tell.
The canon story of the Gorillaz, the band. Yeah, it's very fun. We can do that. A deep dive on the history of them and Damon Albarn. And
you're so weird. I don't.
The fun fact I like about that is that the same guy who is doing all the Gorillaz songs also did the Woohoo song back from the 90s. That's him.
That's weird.
Mm-hmm. But if you go back and listen, it sounds
does
like
feel,
it
especially
sounds
the early,
like,
very early.
What's his name?
It's the very
Noodle.
early.
No.
Yeah.
Murdoch, Noodle, Russell. Who's the fourth one?
The one that always gets bullied.
Yeah. Tootie.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he's 2D. Let's move along to... I actually want to pop video game news a little earlier into the program this week because did you see
boop, 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 boop.
The Steam hardware announcement this week?
I did. I'm interested to see how they execute this because I guess they gave us something similar-ish very, very early on. I don't know if you remember many years ago, and they gave us the original Steam hardware, which is really just a streaming device.
The little Chromecast of Steam, essentially.
Pretty much, and then the controller, which neither one of those sold very successfully. But as we're moving towards gamers for all across the board, Steam is, I think, probably the most powerful out of all of them.
Certainly has the most goodwill left in the companies that are making gaming hardware. Microsoft... No one's a big fan of Microsoft in the gaming space
I cannot
anymore.
buy a Microsoft gaming device unless it's my PC, which
And
is
Sony has not like the PS4 and PS5 eras have been pretty lackluster from Sony's point of view.
they've been lackluster mostly because I think they have fallen behind a little bit of everyone. So Nintendo is, if you're playing Nintendo, you're pretty loyal to the fan base and you know what you're getting.
And Nintendo's starting to abuse that relationship a little bit as well with their moves recently. They have been at least as unfavorable as Nintendo has been for a while, which is, most people love Nintendo, so just them having some negative things to say about them is kind of new.
Yeah, that is new. But Sony is the only one right now that does not have a handheld coming up quite yet. But allegedly, what I've seen, it might have been...
And that's not even necessary to say, like, it's a space that they're not competing in, but maybe that's better than being Xbox, who's 3 years late to the game, and who knows if it's going to be any good.
I don't understand what the point of Xbox is anymore, because really it's
just a service.
It's Microsoft,
essentially.
And why would I'd rather have Steam at that point.
And the Game Pass that kind of was their selling point of value, just like tripled in price or something for some people.
Yeah.
At least doubled. It went up to like
the PlayStation
$50 a month.
The PlayStation 1 is doing the same thing. I also do not like that I have to pay for an online service too.
That is one of the worst
across the board from all the things that are not Steam on my PC.
Which is why, Steam being a little bit more open source minded company it is exciting to find out that they are now going to be in the console space, quote unquote.
Console, yeah.
I mean, if this doesn't look like a GameCube 2.0.
The GameCube wishes. The GameCube is 90% plastic.
Yeah, well, I mean, not from hardware, just the aesthetics. No one else has done a cube, yeah.
Everything is technically a cube. Like the Xbox is like a cube, technically.
But it's not. It's not since the GameCube itself have they gone for full geometric cube.
The one thing I will say that I am worried about is how they sort of price this thing out, because I would imagine, unlike any other gaming PC that you have, that once you get the Steam device, yes, you'll be Steam ready, but how long will it stay
you're not really relevant?
Future proofing yourself for the most part, because there's always going to be, we're kind of at the edge of technology as is, but I think you can still get just ever so slightly better, and I'm mostly talking about hair textures that need to be worked.
Yeah, I mean, there's still going to be some marginal upgrades in graphics card, that sort of thing. So that will be interesting. I do imagine there's going to be some interchangeability out of the board, but if not a like future update version where it's like, I don't know. It's a good question and a good point to bring up, because you are sort of logging, but it's the same for most consoles anyway. They only have so long of a life before
that is true.
Games start developing at that level.
But where I'm worried is because Steam is the only thing that it's expanded so much so that you kind of get on a console. We have a handheld already from it. It's on your PC, and you share that library amongst all those devices, which is super nice. And I don't know why I would need a console if I have the PC ready to do so, unless
that is sort of the fun of it, is that because it's such a cohesive ecosystem, you don't necessarily need all of it. You just need one bit to kind of be in the game.
Everyone should have a Steam Deck. That's just my personal opinion. Love me
it's
a good
certainly still dominating in the handheld PC gaming space. Switches obviously still dominate the overall handheld market, but
Nintendo.
I have to say Steam Deck still very enticing, but if you are the sort of person, because it is getting rarer and rarer for people whose job isn't on a computer, for them to have a gaming ready PC, I could see this being a good little investment in get the box and a controller, and now our TV is a console, a gaming PC, essentially.
Yeah, I know I have coworkers who've just set up their living room with a little switch, and you have your controller in hand, and you can either do your work with the wireless mouse and keyboard, or you put that away and you go straight gaming mode.
Yeah. And then the VR headset, the Steam Frame, is also going to be a kind of self-powered. It's not going to be able to do the full thing without being able to Wi-Fi off of the box, but it will they say it will be able to run some games
I'm curious.
by
I'm
itself.
curious how, like, we have not seen a big VR. We had the big VR boom, and then we haven't really done anything with it
It
since.
leveled off pretty heavy because there's still a pretty high bar of hardware and cost. I think what Oculus is the cheapest.
The Oculus, like, Solo, you don't need anything else, but you are very much limiting yourself to how much.
Yeah. It's a very closed ecosystem
Very, very
for
close.
the Oculus. And overall, still not a super deep library of like must play VR games.
I don't know many people who are making VR games right now still.
You need people making games for the space to get people interested in investing. It's got to be a little lower cost of entry to get in. So I mean, it's still a relatively young branch of gaming. But this does seem like a competitor in that like price range level, I think, is what their goal is going to be with that, which will be interesting because there are definitely some like VR games I've been kind of interested in, but not enough to have to do the whole like hundreds of dollars of investment to get to that point of being able to play a game.
Yeah, not worth it right now.
Very much so. What else? Oh, before it disappears into another advertising cycle for Fortnite, I did want to get your thoughts on the Simpsons appearance in the Fortnite game, which is to me a very funny because I don't think the kids, like the generation who is playing Fortnite so avidly are Simpsons fans.
It's interesting to see all the
Is this just for the old heads?
kind of. So it's kind of bringing the old heads back, right? So all the events and stuff that they've done this far. So like the Travis Scott is kind of a little bit for everyone, but it's for like sort of that high school, young adult sort of age. Sabrina Carpenter kind of falls in that as well.
That's a very
her.
specific market you're kind of going for.
Yeah, but they've done a bunch of stuff with Marvel.
I'm very impressed how quickly they got the K-pop Demon Hunters one up, and like they got it up in the same summer to catch the wave.
They are very quick with it. They've done K-pop Demon Hunters. They've done some with your favorite streamers. Kai, I think Speed has one coming up allegedly. All the Fortnite YouTubers, for the most part, have had a skin in the game at
Baby
some of
No
the big
Money
ones.
has an emote dance.
I'm sure his skin is coming very, very soon as he keeps continuing getting more popular. But they've done Marvel, DC.
Yeah.
I mean, they're trying to.
It's a very kind of like at a certain point, I've gone through very like a lot of different highs and lows roller coaster opinion on Fortnite, where it's like annoying. Oh, actually, no, it's pretty fun. Let me play it for a little while. No, this game is dumb. I'm stepping away. No, it's fine. It's fun. Okay, this is stupid. They've jumped the shark now, and then no, actually, I'm back on it. I do kind of want to play.
That's kind
again.
of the story of Fortnite. It's a free to play game, right? So you kind of are getting what you get for the most part. Of course, you have like everyone's doing this season battle pass sort of thing that it had come up with. Cause,
they are the pioneers, of the battle pass.
Everyone wants and needs money, especially if you want to continue to keep this thing alive and developed.
Which they have for Fortnite is now like almost a decade old.
Yeah.
I think it's like in year 9 now.
Yeah, we're getting pretty close on that.
Minecraft is like 15 years old.
Minecraft is still like one of the best games because you can
huge sandboxes again.
Everyone likes
common
the sandbox.
But yeah, the Simpsons tie-in now. It made sense to me because they announced it with Kang and Kodos around Halloween, which was all very fitting as we learned about Treehouse of Horror.
I remember.
But it has now gone on for a second season, which I thought was a little interesting.
Yeah, I think it is a draw to try to get some older fans back for the most part.
They're tempting me.
It's something for.
And then I remember I have to shoot people. That at its core, it is a shooter game essentially.
The entry level for Fortnite now is just so high, depending on which version you play. A lot of people like them some no build because if you're building,
oh god,
it's cooked.
If you have the coordination to be doing quick building,
you're cooked, absolutely cooked. These kids have been working hard at it. They have not been going to school. They have in fact been building so much in Fortnite.
Yeah, that's that hand-eye coordination that only you only have for a certain level of your life at a certain age range.
That's why we go no build, baby. I can shoot some things in no build.
Yeah,
God forbid.
Do we have... I'm still on Outer Worlds 2, and I can report that about 20 hours into the game now, I am on world number 2, out of I don't know how many. I have not progressed to the main plot very far, but I'm having a great time.
How are you? How are you not progressing the plot if you're on?
Because when you land on a main world, there's so many other, similar to Baldur's Gate, the way when you like start exploring around, just like go to your main quest objective or wherever, you meet a bunch of other people, and it kind of always pays off to talk to people, and they'll send you on other quests and stuff, and you go do that, you get your XPs, you level up and get your skills, and then the main quest is easier. But they're very good at like designing the world in a way where there's like a lot of good ambient world building of like, hey, what's that blinking light over there? That's an interesting looking shape up there. I bet you can get to that. Go check this thing. Oh, hey, look, there's someone sitting by a campfire over there. Maybe you want to go talk to them.
Maybe, just maybe.
So I'm having a great time, but not, super deep into it just yet. I have resisted the urge to new game with other builds that I'm desperate to try, but I'm going this first run with a speech skill specialist, so I'm going to try and sweet talk my way in and out of all sorts of wild antics here.
I'm not the Jedi you're looking for.
Mm-hmm. Have you decided yet on your next game to play, or are we still bouncing around the library a little?
Kind of ish. So I think I've done everything I need to do in Pokemon. I'm 2 Pokemon away from actually completing the Pokédex.
Oh, wow.
Via trade. I started Cyberpunk. I went out for my birthday and bought myself a brand new motherboard and CPU.
Fancy.
Which required also me to buy a new cooler for the CPU. Fun fact. Did not know.
Isn't that always the way it goes nowadays with the computer? But you're like, and one more thing that you hadn't considered that you also now need to upgrade.
Very much so. Also, I did not realize how much my CPU is holding back my brand new graphics card that I bought, stood in line for last year. That's super cool. So I started Cyberpunk
Unlocked some power now.
It looks so beautiful. Cyberpunk has never looked so beautiful. There is a little.
That is a good game to run out a new card on.
It's very, very, very pretty. I can see people's skin. I love it. Not creepy at all.
Nope.
But I'm trying to figure out the settings on that guy because there is some stuttering, and I think it's just the way the graphics card is set up. I think there's something with our favorite AI frame generation that it does not like and causes my game to stutter and crash sometimes. So I need to work that out. And then you so kindly bought me Dispatch for my birthday, and I started that earlier today. So I think I'm going to go with that guy because I'm
a little less graphics intensive.
Well, not that, but that, and I do like to play. I can just play it on my Steam Deck and just kind of hang out wherever, throw something on. But it's also I've gotten drawn into my cinematic universe and quick response. Have I made the right? Have I done the right answers?
Yeah. That is always the thing about those style of games where I do like that it's an option on this one where you can keep the QuickTime events or make it just the cinematic run.
Always the QuickTime events.
It's stressful sometimes.
But that's what else am I to do? But otherwise, I'm just watching a movie here.
Yeah, kind of.
I don't want to watch a movie. I want to play.
I felt the same way about the cinematic mode of Mass Effect 3. Where it's like, why are you playing it that way? Why would you do that?
Yeah,
the whole point is you get to make the decisions.
Yeah, I've also been very tempted to start playing Mass Effect again.
The good old Matt. I only have 2 trophies from platinuming Mass Effect Legendary Edition, which is 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, I bought it. I bought the Legendary Edition on my PS4, and then I went and bought it on my PC earlier this year when it was on super sale.
Yeah, it goes down to like $6 pretty regularly.
Yeah, I think I bought it for like $12 or something like that. And I was like, you know what? I will buy Mass Effect. And then Andromeda is like $2, and I'm like, I'll throw that one in too.
I still haven't bit the bullet on Andromeda yet.
It's worth at least a playthrough if you are like a true Mass Effect fan. It doesn't do justice to the original, but it's still not a bad Mass Effect game.
Interesting. I think just knowing that there's no like follow up to it is a little disheartening as well.
Yeah, there's always the comeback.
They're working on Mass Effect 4 now in the Shepard verse. Liara is canon, going to be in it. So we have that to look forward to out of the BioWare studios should they survive everything happening around them.
I think they'll be fine.
I sure hope so. Very good. That is video game news this week. You don't have any takes on the Great British Bake Off, do you?
Why are they baking in that hot tent in the middle of the summer?
Because it's tradition.
I feel like there are better opportunities to do this, like in the spring or the fall, perhaps. What else is this field being used for, truly?
I mean, they have to rent out the space so that the castle grounds can be kept clear of polo and other British sportery. But no, it's yeah, I don't know. That's the tradition. Because also these are just regular ass people from around Britain who it's most likely that they have some available wiggle room in their schedules for summertime. To go out to the countryside for the weekend to film.
The biggest, I can't get into the Great British Bake Off, GB.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah,
B-O.
GBBO.
Yep.
I can't do it because, unfortunately, I am an American and I want competition, and they're so nice to each other, except for sometimes the judges are a little mean and then they cry, and I can't. Why are you crying? We're in competition time.
It is a very un-American show in that regard, where the stakes are very low. It is very much mostly about getting a group of amateur bakers together to become best friends forever, and watching them struggle through Paul and Prue's dastardly challenges. How could they be so mean? And yet, when Paul gives out a handshake, it's the greatest thing in the world. And yeah, and then one of them tends to be a lot better anyway than the rest and tends to win the whole thing. But every once in a while, there's a little change up. Someone has a hiccup.
Yeah, someone's like, I am a molecular scientist and I've been baking my whole life and I have perfected the chocolate chip cookie. And everyone's like, I like to bake on occasion.
There are some recurring characters that it's fun to catch up with. And I can also see how it is. Yeah, not your cup of tea though. But we did wrap up another series last week. It has left.
We've been still going.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a summer tradition.
When did
they film in? I mean they film like a year ahead of time essentially. It started airing end of August. I want to say mid-August, and we've been going weekly.
We're in November. What the heck? How many people they got?
September. It was a 10-week series.
It's crazy.
But yeah, the latest one just finished up, and so now got a fresh batch of. This is actually the most TikTok savvy generation of Bake Off stars.
So they're young, you're telling me. For the most part, there are probably some old people.
There's a couple that skew younger, but this is still a pretty millennial heavy group.
But say young is relative. They are not, because I've seen some old people on the Great British Bake Off.
The year before last, we saw our first American. I think his name was Joe, but unfortunately, he was very sick.
Joe is.
He I think completed one, if not two, actual challenges, and then like physically could not get through either day.
Oh, Joe.
It was unfortunate look for the first American in the tent.
It was a setup, I tell you.
They poisoned
Joe.
I don't know, because I think he lived in Britain. Like he didn't just fly out to be on Great Britain. I don't think they would let Joe from Brooklyn just be in Great British Bake Off, or we would have had a lot of other Americans.
I would love to send me out a Brooklyn Bronx Italian out to the Great British Bake Off.
That would be entertaining. I do grant you that.
We're making focaccia.
Oh boy,
Joe, we asked for some brownies.
They have. I promise you, in 14 years of doing this show, they have not ever once had them make brownies.
That's the trick.
Oh boy. No, that's half of the fun of a season of Great British Bake Off is finding out what things they're eating over there in Europe that you've never heard of before.
It's interesting to me. So the Great British Bake Off is just like a regular baking show. It's all the very nice people. And then you come over to America and now you have to build monster castles and all these intricate, like people
it better be the most somethingest something. Or it better look exactly like something else.
We're the best. We're number one. God, it tastes awful, but it sure does look pretty.
Ideally, we can get a little bit of best of both worlds. But that's, I think, our TV discussion for this week. Let's talk about the birthday present that Nikola Jokic dropped for you the night before your birthday with his 55 in 34 minutes.
on off of 14 free throws, and he shot 78% from the field.
Yeah.
He's
one missed free throw out of 6 attempts.
Yeah, he's like
3-pointer.
I'm pretty sure he's one of the most efficient basketball players ever right now. Because he does not wasting a whole lot of shots or energy at all.
It's truly remarkable. All anyone in the sports sphere who discusses basketball at all this week is talking about is how obviously Joker's the best player in the world, and why hasn't everyone been saying that all along?
No one's been saying that. The thing I've heard lately is that no one really cares about like OKC or Denver or what they're doing right now, because they have like basically 1 and 2 or 1A and 1B of MVP candidates. So of course they're going to be good. What's everyone else doing? What Austin Reeves is over here putting up 30 in a game.
I guess I've just trained my algorithm to give me the people blowing the Nuggets smoke.
You have. I've not seen a whole lot of Nuggets smoke. In fact, I've had to go out and search it myself.
Oh boy.
The YouTube is like Denver Nuggets, and then it's like we get a couple minutes and we're back to the Lakers.
Nah, I got a lot of definitely neutral third party sports people being like, damn, these Nuggets playing the best defense ever, deadliest offense ever, Nikola Jokic greatest all time.
I don't know what happened. I don't know why my algorithm's so messed up. One, it's either very racist, or two,
oh no.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Has it given you everything in Spanish?
It has given me a few things in Spanish. Like I got an ad once for a Spanish puppet. Don't know why or how, but that was cool. Or I don't see any of the things I'm really interested in. My X algorithm especially is just complete
that's
garbage.
A garbage platform. You can't make anything good you can't make not garbage out of just garbage.
It's X because that's still one of the most popular ones, especially for the people in the news media and out sphere.
No.
Or it's Instagram.
Yeah, both pretty terrible in general.
They are, but they're
especially for like wormholing algorithms.
Oh, it's dark. It's dark down there.
It's bad. But no, yeah, let's circle back to still, yes, some of the most impressive, efficient basketball being played of all time here.
I have my thoughts. I've already made my conclusions. I think he is probably the best Denver athlete we'll ever see.
Interesting.
And we have ever seen.
Interesting. I mean, it is going to be hard to quantify until like his career's all done how exceptional like he is going to be.
I can't think of any athlete that tops him right now off the top of my head.
That's pretty wild considering like Peyton was pretty good.
He was good, but Nikola Jokic here has 3 MVPs, a championship, potentially another one to his name. He is the best basketball player in the world wearing a Denver jersey.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
And like I don't know how. Like,
I think there might have been an era where like that could have been Peter Forsberg, but yeah, now.
Yeah, the only thing
Peter was like when he was healthy, there was a couple years there where he was the best hockey player in the world.
Yeah, and Peter Forsberg is my all-time favorite of course. But of course, yeah. Why, who else would you pick? But he is a little bit of a glass cannon. Nikola Jokic is the one
sturdy.
thing. The best ability he has is availability. He's very.
Yep.
He's there almost all the time.
Yep. No, it's all. Yeah, very true. I'm trying to think if. I mean, McKinnon's not going to catch up in MVPs.
They hate him. He gets too much. He got too much hate early on.
I guess so.
Like he had MVP voting fatigue before he even got an MVP.
Before he was eligible.
Yeah, before he even got an MVP trophy.
Yeah, because I was going to segue a little bit into. We are looking at potentially a repeat of MVP City because both of our boys are playing top of their game right now and kind of showing the rest of their league's kiss my ass energy.
They are, but neither one of them is going to get an MVP. I think if Jokic doesn't win it, Giannis has just been on a tear this season. Cause
Giannis is due.
He's about due. I think Shai got his. What Shai does is, I think people are kind of getting tired of as is already, like the foul baiting, if you will.
Sure.
Unfortunately, I think
everyone having to watch them during the finals, all playoffs long, it was very tiring.
It was a long playoffs
for
them. So I think that probably is going to be a no-go, and I think they're not going to give it to Jokic because we can't give the guy another one. He'd be like one of the few.
If he keeps this up all season, who could possibly deny? Shai can't keep that up all year.
Yeah. I mean, he can, but he's not going to average a triple-double again. Jokic is already averaging a nasty triple-double, and he hasn't even had to score quite yet.
Yeah, he just turned on the scoring like this week.
Well, because going into that game, if we're going to touch back on it, my favorite coach, Tyronn Lue, said, yes.
Yeah, I saw the post game on this.
He said, we wanted Nikola Jokic to beat us by scoring.
Yeah.
I did not anticipate him to have 55. Like, what?
I mean, in the very difficult book of how to play defense against Nikola Jokic, there is some merit to it's less painful if you make him do the scoring and don't let him make all the good passes for easy scores.
That is a very good concept.
That's one of those textbook things, and then you go and put it out in practice.
Well, I don't know if you can do that anymore. Why? Is because we have enough shooters to surround him with that he's going to get. You can't double team him, and he has not worked nearly as hard as he's had to in the past seasons. Regardless of what the media says, he's still the
instead of averaging 40 minutes a game, he's at 33 or something this year.
Those 7 minutes mean a lot for a guy who's been in incredible position and doesn't not move at the speed of light.
And they're restful, relaxing minutes now, not him just clenching his forehead watching a disaster unfold before him.
5 out of the 7 times, that's true. But
still better, a huge improvement from years
it's not
past.
like we are, usually when he goes out, we're up 14, 15 points usually, or we are not in such dire straits, and he'll come back and we'll be even or down a little bit, which is easy enough for him and the team to make up.
I'll be very interested to see how this year plays out, but the trajectory we're on feels very much like the championship years.
Has an arena ever won both trophies at once?
At the same, because we were offset our last go here a couple years ago by 1 year. That will be interesting if they have to schedule playoffs around each other. In other sports news, I will say it was a good week for the Avs. Got a lot of stuff knocked off the list. We got our first overtime win thanks to, of course, you guessed it, the hero of the year, Gavin Brindley. You know,
our favorite Colorado Eagle.
Gavin Brindley. No, he didn't even come from the Eagles. He came from Columbus.
The fans?
No. He is, in fact, who we got back in the trade earlier this summer when we thought we were just making a cap move to move Miles Wood and Charlie Coyle out to Columbus. And I think at the time, I'll see if I can dig up the quote. I think it's something like, and we got back a player who I'll talk about more if we need to. And here we are.
You boy, put down the pretzel. Come down. We need a goal.
And lo and behold, Mr. Gavin Brindley out of Michigan is where he played his college hockey. Has made himself. He made the opening night roster, which is pretty impressive out of the camp that we run. Out of
the trades that we sent are fairly decent players for. If he doesn't make the roster, I think that's a problem.
Well, no, moving those two freed up like all the cap room that we have to now make a lot of signings, which was the other thing that happened this week. Because the reason we're talking about Gavin Brindley so much, he has impressed so well. He is now filling in on Power Play 1. He is now filling in on the second line spot for Val Nichushkin, who did go down earlier this week. And just got himself a 2-year contract extension.
And a brand new pretzel.
No, he had to drop the pretzel.
That's why I got a brand new one. They gave him it back.
Sure. He can afford a fair amount of pretzels now because he got himself a proper 2-year big league contract. No going down to the AHL for him anymore.
Papa, I made it.
And I tell you what, this is exactly the sort of, he's in that Logan O'Connor mold of, I mean, actually,
he's much better short hand than he is full.
No.
Full strength.
He's all motor. He's full hustle on every shift. But I was gonna say the potential ceiling that a lot of people are seeing out of him, because he's still only like 22 or something, is closer to an Arturi Lehkonen sort of. He's willing to go just stand in front of the net and get beat up. He's willing to go win the puck battles in the corners.
What a sentence!
Yeah, that's just the life of a hockey player. So that's a great little extension for us. A very good surprise of solidity in the depth that we are trying to accumulate, which we know we need. The other new contract that got inked this week, so we did Natchez last week, we did Gavin Brindley over the weekend, and then on Wednesday, I want to say, we said we need one more year of the woodshed together, and gave good old Scott Wedgwood another year extension so that he will be around, not through just this year, but also next year as well.
Not good for the Russian.
It does, well, it's actually kind of a best case scenario for the fact that Ilya Nabokov is having a down year in Russia.
Like I said, not good for the Russian.
All indications were, I mean, the plan was kind of always going to be that he, unless he was really cooking in the KHL this year, he was almost certainly always going to go to the AHL when he comes over to America next year. He's already under contract with us. That's kind of the deal. But now, really, Scott Wedgwood has played himself into being our starter this year.
He's played really well.
He is surpassing all expectations.
First to 10 wins?
First to 10 wins in the league. A like 913 save percentage, completely solid.
What a hell of a job for a backup.
Yeah, and it is kind of raised the question now of, because Mackenzie Blackwood has been relatively slow coming back into playing time, because missing training camp is sort of worst case scenario for a goalie. That's when you can get like the most time to get game ready, and now it's just a matter of getting reps in practice time and off days, which are not very plentiful, especially on travel days.
Season, yeah.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, Wedgwood has found himself as the 1A in our little tandem here, and we're kind of now not in a dissimilar way of the way Nuggets fans are looking at Cam Johnson to be like, the scoring now, any day now.
Oh, I thought you were going to go say that like how we were last year, where we had 1A and 1B.
No. We're not in that territory yet. If Blackwood can't kind of get himself back into the shape we saw last year, though, before New Year's, then trade deadline might look a little bit more interesting, because between our woodshed now in total for the next 2 years will be costing us $775 for the cap.
It's like one goalie.
Almost every other top level goalie in the league costs more than that, and we're paying that for our pair. So it's a great position to be in from a general manager position. They do both have to do good, though, otherwise we may have to address that again, which is not ideal for the one that we have already given the 5-year contract to.
But say it sounds.
But
to be fair, the one that did get the 5 is a little bit younger.
He is younger, and we're not in alarm territory yet. But it hasn't been a clean return to the ice for Mackenzie Blackwood. Thankfully, this is a very good offensive team that can bail him out of a rough night where he gives up 3 goals. We can score 6.
Or 9.
Or 9. Yes, that I forgot that happened immediately after we recorded. We absolutely spanked the Edmonton Oilers on Hockey Night in Canada in their home stadium to the tune of 9-1. Also of note, the accomplishments this week, we got Gabe Landeskog his first official goal, and no one called it back on video review for the first time out of 4 attempts.
Let me tell you, so your timeline is very much nicer to you. My timeline was filled with how important is Gabe Landeskog to the Colorado Avalanche?
I saw that little clip.
Like he's like not really scoring.
Gabe's not a relevant player in the league anymore. Blasphemy.
Yeah, I was like, thanks, and scroll.
Yeah, an ignorant take. I don't know what to tell these people. He's a Swedish superstar, and clearly the secret sauce behind why we're kind of just clicking on all cylinders this year.
Yeah, I hope his leg's not held together by scotch tape and
Elmer's glue and toothpicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good. We do still have a little baseball news, despite the season being over.
Let it be over.
Shohei Ohtani won his 4th unanimous MVP award in his career, his second National League. He also had 2 as the American League.
Man didn't even have to move his house.
Yeah, smart man. Good agent. Made good decisions. Now, baseball, this is an interesting thing. Unanimous MVP is not very common. It is most common in baseball, though.
Because the baseball people have the hardest time. They always want to make a statement with their votes.
A little bit. But did you know that only one basketball MVP has ever been unanimous?
Steph Curry.
Okay, very good.
Steph Curry's been the only one that's been unanimous because the NBA is also kind of similar-ish.
Do you remember which season that was, since you knew the trivia question before I even asked it?
I do believe that would have been 2017, if I remember correctly, because it would have been his champion. They were still on their championship run. It was either 2017 or 2016, because it was right after they had just won a championship.
2016 was the unanimous year.
Yeah, 2016.
Very good.
I couldn't remember which year.
You were in the ballpark for sure. The other baseball news that I have. Oh, well, we have the big MLB news about two Cleveland Guardians pitchers getting indicted by the federal government, and a very similar to the basketball scandal that broke a couple weeks ago. These two guys are accused of fixing pitches to the tune of about $450,000 to illegal betting schemes.
Racketeering in 2025?
In 2025, Clase and Ortiz out of the Cleveland Guardians, who were deactivated. Because we didn't follow the Cleveland Guardians at all in terms of the season.
I don't think Cleveland follows the Cleveland Guardians.
These guys got pulled off the roster back in July. Like, this came up mid-season where no one could say anything, but they were just removed from the lock. Like, their lockers were emptied and just not on the roster anymore. And no one could say anything for a whole year until earlier this week when the indictment got unsealed. These two guys are facing up to 65 years in federal prison.
One thing Uncle Sam does not like is
tax cheats.
You not taking care of Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
Sam needs a piece of his too.
And unfortunately, as we've already discussed on the show, the federal prosecutors do not go after unsure cases.
They are going to be at least 95% sure they're going to win that case.
Yeah.
And they are going to make you settle for some sort of plea.
I think so. The immediate response from the league was that they went ahead and organized with their partners in the sports betting industry to put a limit on the prop bets for single pitches for the coming year to $200. So that's problem solved, right?
Yeah, I like it.
We won't have an issue with pitchers trying to. Now, the funny thing to me is, like, the amount of money. I'm always surprised by how millionaire player, like guys on $1 million contracts, can get themselves so deep in debt, but more money, more problems.
Gambling, they're all especially for those competitive types. They gotta have that one more.
Yeah, for sure. Because we've talked about how baseball players have the best contracts in all of sports, and you're throwing your entire career away to make, I think they said like $12,000 was their take on the $450 or something.
Yeah.
It's dumb. So kids don't get caught by the federal government for racketeering.
Just don't racketeer, please. I think that's...
No, I said what I said.
Fair enough.
One other bit of baseball news that I've had on the docket for a while, but we finally have some more information so I can talk about it. The WPBL, the Women's Professional Baseball League, is getting ready to do their initial draft. That's going to come up on November 20th, and you can watch that live if you feel so inclined on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm going to say they're going to be on the lives on all the socials. We have 4 teams making up the Women's Professional Baseball League inaugural season. Do you think you can guess which 4 teams, which 4 cities? Because they're named very much like the PWHL cities were first year. Which 4 cities are going to be the seeds of women's professional baseball in America?
So we're talking about women and we're talking about baseball. Mm-hmm. So in America, so we're looking towards that mid-southernish region. So I'm looking at probably like something in an Illinois, perhaps.
Oh, interesting.
Who else does baseball? St. Louis has kind of does baseball because they don't have anything else. They have the Blues out there, but they're aptly named.
Now, I will say I think you're taking a different approach to this than maybe the league did in their thinking.
Or we're just gonna say we're gonna put them all together, probably out east again, which would be stupid.
I'll say they went half and half. They went an East Coast pair and a West Coast pair.
That is stupid because no one on the West Coast or the East Coast does the baseball anymore.
New York, Boston, Los Angeles, and San Francisco are going to be the seed cities for the WPBL.
None of those cities do baseball anymore.
Yeah. Los Angeles definitely needs.
LA might because
there's enough. I think certainly the Athletics aren't filling in their share of entertainment in the baseball side there.
And it is part of our culture being Latinos that we play the hard round ball allegedly.
Sure.
So that LA can see, but San Francisco is kind of like.
It's mostly just to have the pair.
Yeah, stack them on top of each other. New York and Boston make no sense. Both those are kind of basketball cities now for the most part because the Knicks and Celtics are like the talk over there.
And I'm curious. I don't know if we have a timeline yet on when they actually plan on be playing.
At WPBL, if you need a commissioner, I do need to be paid though. What I would have done is I would have put them in the Midwest there, so maybe places that don't have professional sports. So throw some Nebraska out there, like in Iowa, places like that was what I would have done.
Sure, I think they're trying to do a little bigger splash in terms of
you can't though because you're
market.
You're competing with so many things. If anything we've learned from sports, especially this past 2 or 3 years, is there has to be a good strategy, and none other show that better than Banana Ball.
That's for sure.
Like you're starting with a men's league in Southern Georgia, and this thing happened just to
the organic growth of it to make sure it was a sustainable like entertainment event, essentially.
Yeah, and we're putting on the event for our friends and their
they
family.
Didn't start touring around the South.
I'm starting in Los Angeles with this idea. No.
The inaugural season will be approximately 7 weeks in total. 4 weeks of regular season play, 1 week of all-star competition, and 2 weeks of playoffs. Games will be played Thursday to Sunday, with each team playing 2 games per week. The league will begin in May 2026. There will be a 4-day training period prior to the regular season, while players are expected to get into regular season shape on their own prior to the season.
Not going to happen. That's you're talking NBA playoff time, NHL playoff time. What else is happening around that time? We just finished the NFL season, so you're looking at baseball seasons happening where they have to play every single day. There's going to be an MLB game on. You're not gonna win that.
That it's a bold jump in for sure. And
the one place I'm most worried about, especially, is Boston. Boston has not been very receptive to any sports that are not one male dominated and preferably a white male.
That's for sure.
Because they're hockey teams in like dire straits for the most part.
Yeah, a little bit. Although speaking of which, in PWHL news, we are getting closer to the season launch there as well. We have takeover tour dates as well, and Denver's getting 2 of them this year, baby.
Because we do well.
We certainly did. I think us, Boston, and one of the Canadian cities got double dates this year.
Boston can't even sell out their own.
Well, when you put them in a good arena that's easy to get to for Bostonians, they do better, apparently.
I believe it when I sees it.
Well, we'll see it a little later this year. But yeah, this interesting. Yeah, I will continue to follow the WPBL to see how we do, because it would be great to have another good competitive like baseball product out there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the only women I've ever seen play baseball are the ones that we see in the Little League World Series, and then I know the Savannah team has a couple women around their leagues.
And those two are going to feature prominently in this WPBL. They are kind of like one of the 2 of the more notorious women's baseball players. There are still some colleges that do a women's baseball program as well, which is where most of the American players are
Shocking
coming
to me
from.
that it's baseball and not softball, but I you can make the transition, I guess, but I don't.
Yeah.
I also never understood the distinction. Men play baseball, the women play softball.
That is unfortunately a
talked
weird,
about that.
gender divide that doesn't exist in the sports at all. Men could be playing softball, they just don't because it's considered a women's sport.
It's too easy. The ball's too big.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I think too many people just confuse softball with like beer league softball that you play recreationally.
No, literally the hardest thing on the planet to hit.
It's insane, when it's thrown at you at the speeds they do it and at the distance. Crazy. But yes, I'll be interested to see and rooting for the women's baseball. There will also be some international players, so they're going to be trying to give them a living wage, I assume. But I don't know where this money is coming from.
Living is all relative. Are we talking about living wage in L.A. and San Francisco and Boston and New York?
Maybe the suburbs of those cities, but
just should have gone to the Midwest.
And our last bit of news, it not happened yet, but our big anticipated event of the weekend is going to be our Denver Broncos versus the Kansas City Chiefs showdown.
Everyone's already calling that we're gonna get the sandbag for this guy.
Well, I do have to say the injury report is not looking good. J.K. Dobbins out, Pat Surtain out, Singleton out.
The injury report's
Joe
not
Ellis
good,
out.
but also it's gonna be 1-on-2 out there. Was what everyone's sort of anticipating happening, just so we're all aware. It's going to be the Chiefs and the refs versus the Denver Broncos. They're looking at like I think someone guessed that it was going to be like a 15-3 penalty count.
That seems very plausible considering that's roughly what our averages have been all season anyway.
Realistically, unfortunately for us, this is like a huge game for the Kansas City Chiefs. If they lose this, they're kind of out of playoff contention as is.
They will be in very tough spot. They'll have to claw their way back into a wild card spot.
Yeah, they can't win, or
they
you
won't
can't
be able to
lose
win
again.
the division. Yeah,
can't win the division. You can't lose again.
Essentially. And hey, that's their fault for sucking at the start of the year. It's certainly a less than optimal form of the defense to be running out there. It's not the same lockdown coverage without Pat Surtain out in the secondary.
Yeah, but again, Kansas City has the issue is like, who are they throwing the ball to? Juju? They have Rashid Rice, I guess, but
they remember Travis Kelce exists and is hard to tackle for like 8 minutes every game.
Yeah, when he's not yelling at Mahomes and Andy Reid or crashing out.
Like, do you know who my girlfriend is?
Don't make me fly the private jet through this thing.
Fiance now.
Do you know I am Mr. Swift on the back?
I don't need this football thing anymore.
They have no run game either, which is like our biggest weakness for the most part.
That's all true. Yeah, I forget that Kansas City is not
and their defense is awful.
That is also true. Now that I think that's the biggest question though is like what version of our offense shows up, because I think the defense can do their job. Mahomes is going to get some favorable calls and they're probably going to put up like 17 at least.
Riley Moss is going to get some unfavorable calls.
Riley Moss may slap a referee at some point. The calls are getting so egregious.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen Pat Surtain's podcast, but he called for racial profiling against Riley Moss. But
yeah, he's not wrong.
This is a week for Bo Nix to sort of make a statement. If we can just be in this game and compete, and I would like to score some touchdowns as anyone would, but he had such a bad week last week against the Raiders that it's kind of, he needs to bounce back, and this would be a huge game to bounce back in if he can outduel Pat Mahomes. Yeah,
this is where, like, can he summon the clutch factor here in the middle of the season when we kind of really need it?
Yeah.
It would be real good.
The amount of slander I've seen on Bo Nix lately, especially after the last game, has been numerous, but that also just could be my feed and algorithm.
Apparently, yeah, we are finding out you have a pretty toxic algo.
Yeah, my algorithm does want to see me crash out, wants to see me jump through the window.
Yeah, no, you got to get the The positive vibes only going in your feed there.
No, my BPMs are in a different setting than yours.
Because when you look at just the highlight cuts, Bo Nix is an incredible quarterback. But when you watch the several quarters of odd decision and just like lack of execution on basic plays, it really makes you scratch your head and be like, how is that the same guy?
I get the whole thing of like the highlights, oh, that's lucky. Lowlights, like this is who he is as a person. It's like,
yeah.
It hurts.
The truth is somewhere in the middle. And we still hope to see the better version of Bo this time, though. Yeah, I think that's as much as I dare to talk about this game before it actually happens.
Agreed.
Any other news to cover this week?
I do not believe so.
Fantastic. Well, then take us out.
Thank you guys for joining us again for another 321 Presents. Of course, this week we've covered all the fun facts and different topics through the show. We got a music take at the beginning here, sports at the end, a little flip up from what I usually do.
Got to keep them on their toes.
Sprinkled in some video games and, of course, our favorite TV shows in the middle there as a sweet little treat. Because we talked about Great British Bake Off, which, of course, is my favorite show on Netflix. If you guys, of course, are following us, to check out the TikTok, where we have some fun new videos and a new video format that my host for the day had put together with some cool little animations that he'd done.
Gang, if you want to do your old buddy Nick a little favor, just go on over to that TikTok at 321 Pods. We are so close to our first 1,000 view post on there, and if you go on the page, you'll see that that's a very big accomplishment for.
They like everyone likes an animation.
The animation is a new step up, and I'll do so many more for you guys if you get this video up to 1K. If I can see the 1K on the vid next week when we record, I'll be so happy, gang.
So
It's doing pretty well on YouTube. It's still one of our better YouTube shorts, but we're nowhere near 1K on that. I won't hold my breath on that.
TikTok first, and then go check out the YouTube 321 Pods, and of course our website 321pods.com. You can spell that however you want.
We're at $9.99.
One more view is all we need.
Just one of you.
Just one, please. But we will see you guys next week with a full rigmarole of all of our favorite topics again, and we will talk about how everything has gone through our week. Of course, I have been your passenger princess on this one. My name is Zach, and my driver of the podcast has been Nick, and we will see you guys next week.
Adios.